it in, and then I can go to bed and relax, you know. But scheduling stuff is really, really important. I think, like when I was in my 20s, like you, and I, you know, I identify a lot with you. You know, also starting my own business, giving everything to it, doing well in that. I see a lot of building my own brand, but I also used to smoke a hang of a lot of weed, just like my friend Kate, a lot of weed, and wanted a lot. So, but I was always organized, so I would pre-roll the joints the night before. So I'd have a cigarette box with like 20 joints in it, so that because I'm busy during the day, I don't have time to roll the joints. So I'd have them pre-rolled. One of the effects, you know, after in the beginning is really nice, but then nothing really happens. And one of the negative long-term effects was my short-term memory got to shit. But one of the positive things about that was that I started scheduling everything because I thought, listen, I didn't forget everything, but I might forget this. Let me write everything down. So I wrote everything down. So that got me into a good habit now where I do and now my short-term memory is back because I haven't smoked weed for a very long time. But I mean, I do still schedule. So that's one of the good things about weed. The good side effect about weed is that it kills your short-term memory, but that makes you get organized.
The goal with weed is at some point to not be smoking it every day like the way I am. It's I only smoke it because I know like the culture around smoking weed and chilling out and like smoking a blunt and like watching the sunset. I like that. I don't ever want to not be able to do that by completely quitting. Like I like weed. I generally like it. The problem is it's very seductive and you will almost always lose that battle. If you're offered weed, it's very hard to say no because it's like not.
Look, I think
really hard.
you get people with different personalities. You get some people, as same with smoking cigarettes or alcohol or weed or whatever. Get some people that can literally have one. Let's talk about cigarettes because we were talking about cigarettes, but it applies the same. They could literally have one cigarette on a Friday night when they at a friend's house and never think of it again and enjoy that cigarette or one drink or one joint once a week or yeah. Then you get people like me who can't do that. Anything I do is either extreme or not at all. So it might start as one cigarette on a Friday night, but then it becomes a cigarette on a Saturday night. Then it becomes eventually 70 cigarettes a day chain smoking. That's how everything works with me. Like if you drop me at a casino, bro, I won't see you until someone picks me up and drags me out of there. I swear to God, that's why I don't go to the casino anymore because I would be there forever. Forget whether I win or lose. I just would never leave. I mean, I'm like that. So knowing that, I wish I could just have a joint, one joint here or there, or one cigarette. I can't. It doesn't work like that. So I'm the type of person that, unfortunately, anything I give my time to better be positive because after a while I'm doing a lot of it. But if you're the type of person that could just have a joint here or there, I think that's amazing. I mean, if you have one cigarette a week, or even if you have one cigarette a day, literally one cigarette a day, this is not health advice, but if you literally had one cigarette a day, I don't think you'd see any negative health effect in your whole life. Because I've had 60 a day for 20 years. That's more than one a day for 120 years.
True.
And you know,
your skin looks good, dude. Your hair looks good. Your skin, like I don't even understand how that's possible. But I'm with you, dude. Like for me, I'm okay if I still smoke every day, but I don't want to ever go back to what I was going through at the beginning of my YouTube career when the NFT bull run was going off, guys. It was a joke because I like all my videos I was smoking and it was like cool, you know, it was like the vibes, whatever. The studio was cool. But let me tell y'all, I was smoking all day, every day for like a year straight. And it was awful. It was terrible. It got to a point where the weed was not good. I didn't look forward to it, but I couldn't help it. I had the dab pen on me. It was miserable. But I knew I'm the same with you. I know that I'm extreme either way, one or the other, but I also am very confident in my mental. And I know that I can mold my mental and I have done so every year. There's always a couple things that I have to completely reassess everything and like, you know, really test myself. And I know that I can get to a point where I'm not one or the other. It's not going to be smoking all day or nothing. I know I can get to a point where I can just enjoy one blunt because I know in the past 6 months I've gotten better. I've gotten to a point where I don't smoke every day. And I've gotten to, you know, get to like 1 or 2 sessions where like I'm walking to the gym, I stop and chill out and like look at the sunset before I smoke a third of a joint real quick while I'm going to the gym, come out, I read for a little bit, I smoke a little bit and I'm good. And like, I think I can get to a point where I can really get that down to 1. So I don't, anyways, that was a whole ass thing about weed and smoking for last.
Don't tell anyone. And he's posting it on a YouTube thing.
Clip that. Somebody clip it.
I couldn't see it until I made it bigger. And then whatever got you, Alex. But if you can do that, Kate, then that's great, bro. If you can get it to that level where you literally can do that, then that's great. Because the truth of the matter is, when I was smoking so much weed, it had the first one in the morning maybe has a tiny effect,
Right.
and after that, it has absolutely no effect. Whereas if you stop for a year and then have one, you're going to be sitting there giggling and enjoying life and looking at the roses, right? But
Yeah.
if you overuse anything, it doesn't have that effect. It's the same as anything. It's the same as sex. If you're sleeping with everyone and you don't care about anyone you're sleeping with, you end up hating the people you sleep with and yourself because you're misusing something. You're overusing something that's not meant to be used that way, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the best example. I mean, if you're in a committed
100%.
relationship and you love your significant other, I don't know if there's ever too
I
much
just
sex, but
like it's kind of the same with like NFTs. Like I like the culture of NFTs, and I kind of like the culture of weed. If you can get away from the daily constant smoking of the stoner life, you can get away from that. Weed is actually, I think it's kind of beautiful. Like I've had opportunities to really like take it in and be like, wow, this is awesome. I really like that I'm able to do this. And have weed be part of the experience, and it really adds to it. And I'm down to do both. Like I've gone through months where I'm completely sober, stone cold sober, and I really enjoy that as well. I just know that I don't want to
crypto
be
dream, don't start crazy.
don't start the craze, but
Don't
I don't want
start
to get to a point
craving.
where like if I
No,
do
the
smoke with a
truth of
friend,
the matter
I
is
want to smoke
that's the
that I can
that's
never
the
do it.
part that's the part that gets people back in, Kate, is
What?
people think, oh, this time around, I can just have one.
Mm.
Right? I could just have one once a week. Now, if you can do that, that's great. There's a few people I know that can do that, but most people can't. These things are addictive, and you'll think you can. Your mind will tell you you can. You'll have one, and then before you know it, you'll be sneaking out every night and having one every night and every day, and your wife will be divorcing you, and your children will be leaving you, and whatever. So just be. I'm talking to
Depends why
crypto
you're
chief
smoking.
over here.
Depends why you're smoking and how much mental strength you
And
have.
but it depends how you, not even how much mental strength you have, how you wired. I think that there's some people. I'm very very strong minded, very. And I said I was going to have one cigarette on the way to work and one on the way back, and I'm having 70 a day. I was having 70 a day, and I could stop when I did. Cold, no funny books, no medicine, no patches, no vape, no bullshit, no nothing. Like proper withdrawal symptoms, like stops. Okay, so I am strong, but I cannot keep it to one on the way to work and one on the way back.
Well, that's what I'm
I'm
saying.
not
It
wired
depends
that
why you're
way.
smoking.
I can't.
Depends what it is that you're trying to get out of the high. Like, what is it why are you smoking this thing like all this time? It kind of depends why you're doing it. And I think if you have the why nailed down and it's actually true, if you actually believe it, and that's really why you're smoking, and it's not because you're just trying to be stoned because you hate your life. If that's the reason, then yeah, you're fucked because you hate your life. But it's because you hate your life, not because of the weed. You hate your life and you're coupling a fucking downer with it. That's not good. But if you don't hate your life and you're really using it for a reason that you believe in and you believe that true to yourself, maybe it can be different.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So that's great. I mean, if you want to, like, let's say you go to the mountains and like really discover stuff, I mean, I would highly recommend, not health advice, shrooms, right? In the right environment, I think they open your eyes. I'm talking from my youth. I mean, I'm honestly haven't touched any of the stuff for a long time now, but in the right environment with the right people to do shrooms and really just see the world in a different way once in your life is incredible. But
Sure.
as you said, if you're doing it to escape a trauma or or to escape life or whatever, it's going to become often, and then you're going to end up being screwed. So, look, I mean, each to their own. All I can say is your friend Philip is now completely clean off all substances whatsoever. The last thing to go was cigarettes. Other things have gone before that. The last things to go were cigarettes. I'm very proud of myself. I do feel like I've gotten through the hardest part the last 5 days. And every day I'm feeling that it's easier. But yeah, I mean, everyone needs to do what they need to do. But I would say if you're not sure about where you are at and your type of personality, rather stay away because the stuff is addictive and can get you in trouble.
Yeah. And if you want to accomplish a lot, you probably should be sober. Unless you really like,
Yeah.
for the most part, I know for a fact I'm better sober. I'm more effective sober. I know I can get more done if I'm sober. Crypto Dream says I plead the fifth on shrooms.
So the sober thing is also a trap, right? I agree with you completely, but I used to tell myself with the weed like 20 whatever years ago, when I was loading products on the Perco website like throughout the night. It doesn't take brain power to do what I was doing. It was boring, and it would help the time go quicker, and it would help me enjoy that time a bit more than just pushing buttons aimlessly and doing it. That's what I would tell myself, and I believe it, and I believed it at the time, and I think it served its purpose from that perspective. But there's no doubt that when I stopped, everything just, I became a better everything negotiator, businessman. I remember things. I was much more well spoken, and chose my words better. I would never forget important stuff. I was always early instead of just being just on time or late. Like, it changed a lot for me for the good, but it served its purpose, I guess, from that side. But you got to be careful of things you tell yourself, because before you know it, you're addicted to these things.
Man, bro, this conversation really making me think a little bit here. Dang. Yeah, this is a pretty powerful conversation. I'm glad we spent a little bit of time on this segment, this accidental segment. It's making me think a little bit. Because you're right, dude. Sober feels really good. Like, right now, I'm sober. I'm not high or drunk or anything, and like, I feel my head is clear. I feel very capable. If anyone walked in the room right now, I'd feel like fine. But if I was high, I'd be a little bit.
And you'd be able to take an opportunity. If something came your way, you'd be ready. You're ready to go, and you want to be ready. I mean, I do feel very empowered to not need any substance at all in any way. I do.
That's the thing I hate most about weed. It's very hard not to want it all the time when you smoke.
Yeah. And it's taking up mind space, thinking, okay, I'm going to put this in place for myself, that I won't smoke before 7 p.m. or no. But you're busy talking to yourself the whole day, using energy that, if you're not thinking of it, you're busy thinking about my next video or my next edit or my next meeting or whatever. So, if it's something that you can live without and get away from, I would personally do it, but each in their own time. If someone had told me 20 whatever years ago, when I was smoking 20 joints a day, that I need to stop, I would tell them to jump in the lake and worry about themselves. So I'm not here to tell anyone anything. All I can say is that, like, at 40, where I'm at now, I'm very proud to be able to say that there's nothing that I need or I'm dependent on or that I'm reliant on, and that no matter what time of the day or night you phone me, I'm completely sober.
Just W's on his NFT trades, hopefully.
Not so much, bro. There's nothing going on.
Is there nothing else? Is there no other segments for NFT stuff?
No. I thought you meant wins on NFTs. There are some segments. I'm saying